Welcome, guys, to our weekly top 10 goals. So, whether you're working with me as your coach or you're part of the course, the 7-day metamorphosis course, you're going to have access to this exercise either at the beginning of our work or for day two of the course. So, let me go through the main informations and how to use the exercise properly to see the bigger results and to see it quickly, right? We want to have those quick wins to gain some momentum. The first thing to do is the North Star GPT. So make sure that you did the North Star GPT first so that we're going to have access to the 10 goals that are aligned with our true self, that are aligned with a purposeful path, the clarity as far as the directions we want to take moving forward, right? We want to build a new foundation. So, first thing first, if you haven't done the exercise in North Star GPT, you need to do it first. So, have a look at the description down below. You're going to have access to the link. And then once we have those top 10 goals, we're going to go to step 2. The page 3 or 4 will look like this. So page 3 for those who are in a course and page 4 for those who are working with me. So here it's fairly simple. Daily, weekly, we have 4 goals. 2 to 3 months, we have 3 goals. And 12 months, we have another 3 goals. So we have the short, the mid, and the long term here, goals wise. Okay. The reason why we have some space around it is to use the red and the green pen. So those 2 pens, one of them is for all the limiting beliefs, everything that is blocking you, that is in the way from you achieving one of those top 10 goals, right? So sometimes it can be laziness, procrastination, good excuses, fears. You've tried in the past, it didn't work out. So we have those limiting beliefs related to those goals, right? So every time we have the thought, even the thought of it, you write it down. And if the thought comes again and again, we're going to put +1 or -1 if it's red. And you're going to understand why we're going to put the +1 with green. So green is going to be positive action. But for now, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, lack of action, all those things, we write it down in red. Okay. And this sheet will be good for 7 days. So I want you to print that sheet 4 times for the first month. And even if you do the 7-day metamorphosis course, we're still gonna aim at doing this exercise 4 times. Once time every week. So every 7 days, we're gonna print a new one. And our goals are gonna be a little bit different on a weekly basis. So how it should look like, more or less. So here there's an example only with 3 goals. Obviously, we're going to have 10 goals when we're going to do the exercise properly. So a quick example here. You can have the goal of going to the gym 4 times per week. And the first day, you don't go. You have the limiting beliefs, or you have the procrastinations or the good excuses. For example, in this case, I'll go tomorrow, right? And how do you feel? Like linking emotions as well is super powerful. So I feel lazy. All right. Put it down in red. And as you can see now, there's an overriding in green, meaning that you might have just that thought, but then you still go, you take action. So right away, red, and then you grab your green pen, the action pen, positive action, and then boom, you scratch it. So it can be right away or it can be the next day. The first day, you use that excuse, I'll go tomorrow, I feel lazy. And then the next day, you're just like, you know what? I'm going to take action today. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to scratch it. And then you put the emotions related to it. How do you feel? I feel uplifted, right? And maybe the first day you put -1 and the second day you scratch it, right? You scratch it with a green because you took action. For example, in this case, there's 2 scratch and 2 + 1. So that'd be +4 and then -2. So in this case, we failed twice and we did the right thing four times. This is just an idea of how to use it. Obviously, you can modify that setup the way that it works for you. But this is what has been working the best for most of my client. So that would be something daily, weekly. Let's say another goal that is more midterm, so 2 to 3 months. Keto diet for 60 days. Okay, same principle. So I don't think I can do it. I love sugar too much. I feel weak. So at the beginning, that might be like the top process related to that goal, right? We're listening to our little demons, our voice in our head. What is happening right after we write down that goal? So the keto diet for 60 days. What is happening right now? What are those little voices, those negative voices telling us that 1.0 self, the good excuses, the comfort zone? So before we can fight back, we have to put it down in red. We have to listen to the limiting beliefs and everything is happening in our head that is in the way from achieving those goals. So obviously, the perfect scenario here, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the perfect scenario, it's not a sheet full of green. Because if it would be the case, then you guys wouldn't be here with me right now. You have some demons to fight, right? So the best case scenario after a day or two or three is this sheet is full of red. It's a sea of red. And yeah, maybe there's a little bit of green because you already started taking action. But if it's all red, in my book, it's all good because now we have work to do and we know where we're going as far as taking action. So, sea of red is a good thing. And if we work together, obviously, every day there's the accountability of you sending me a picture of this sheet between our sessions so that there's some commitment, some self discipline, and I'm going to be able to coach you a little bit here and there with what you send me with the custom GPTs that I've built that will analyze the wins, the losses, the demons, so that we're tweaking our routine accordingly. Okay, let's go up again. So there's more information here about the red pen. So it's everything limiting, everything negative, everything that is in the way from us achieving those goals. The green, it's the victory sword. So every time we fight back, every time we win those small little battles, then obviously put it in green, capital letter. If it was a big struggle for you in the past, now you're like fighting back in a way. So use the green as a victory in a victory way. Always put the empowering emotions. So the negative one with the red and the positive one with the green. Here we have the routine that we will start focusing on for at least this first week. If you guys are doing the course, or even if you work with me, it's the same setup. So what we do is the Power 15. That Power 15 starts the night before because the list of things, of tiny actions, tiny wins we're gonna do during that Power 15, we're gonna set the stage the night before. Our cell phone will be outside of the room, and obviously we're gonna try to go to bed slightly earlier so that we have the time, at least 30 minutes, to do not only the Power 15, but to eat a frog. And I'll explain to you guys a little bit later what is eating the frog. So it's 15 minutes of tiny wins. It can be drinking water, it can be push-ups to failure, it can be cold shower, it can be hugging your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it can be cleaning the dishes, it can be tidying up your room. Whatever makes sense for you to create momentum. The compound effect of tiny wins, tiny actions, this is what we're looking for first thing first in the morning. There's no scrolling, there's no cell phone, there's no snooze button. We take actions and we are in control. Okay, so the first 15 minutes, and obviously, if you want to integrate new habits or you always wanted to, oh, I wish I would do this every morning, this is a perfect time to implement it in the Power 15. The Power 15 is just a foundation. You might figure out in the future that Power 10 is best for you or Power 30. It's just a matter of flipping those rocks, trying different things, and we collect data to see how we feel about it. I want you to think of yourself as a scientist. This is a season of collecting data. We're flipping those rocks, we collect data, and we see what works for us. Because we're all different, right? Those things are going to be different actions, the amount of time for each actions. Are you going to do this for this week? Next week is going to be a bit different. So get ready to be open-minded to try different things. But the main thing here is commitment. It's self-discipline. Because tonight you might be super, oh yes, I'm going to do this. There's some motivations. But tomorrow morning, guess what your old self will tell you, right? Your comfort zone or the part of you that doesn't want to change. You're going to say, Power 15, what is that? What is the point? I don't want to do this. Let's go straight to our normal routine with let's get some food, coffee, or whatever. Okay, if you let those voices win, then you already failed the commitment and the self discipline part of the equation. And this is the main thing for the first 2 to 3 weeks, even more so for some people, because we have to fight back. We have to fight back our comfort zone, our old self, the consumer, right? So think about it and prepare yourself. Here, there's a couple of example walking outside, going for jogging, to give you a little bit some ideas to what to put in that Power 15. Right after the Power 15, we eat a frog. So what is eating a frog? Eating a frog is from Brian Tracy and basically means we tackle a task, an action that we've been putting away for weeks, months, sometimes years, right? We're procrastinating. We're finding good excuses to not do the work, to not take action in a way. There's some friction, there's some pain. You know what? The reason why we do the Power 15 is not only to be in control, not only to be committed and self disciplined, but to create momentum, to prepare ourselves to face that frog with some more confidence. Okay? We're checking the box, and now you're like, you know what? And obviously, we're going to talk about having a good night of sleep because your night of sleep, that 7 hours and a half to 8 hours, is and will always be the first domino. If we don't have a good night of sleep, we start our day on the wrong foot. And in a way, now you're asking yourself to do those tiny actions in the Power 15 and eat a frog, right? And I'm telling you, the slope and the mountain's going to be so much more steep if it's the case. So we take care of our night of sleep, and then Power 15, we're committed. The cell phone is outside of the room, and then we eat a frog. Always start with a small frog, a frog that we're procrastinating. There's a little bit of friction, but not too big, because if it's too big, you're not going to be able to eat it. Okay? So, this is the exercise. Then again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. What you do is you print out page number 3 4 times for the next 4 weeks. Every week we change, we tweak the goals a little bit, mostly for daily, weekly, but as well as the 2 to 3 months and 12 months might change as well. Because we're going to create new momentum. We're going to have more clarity about where we're going exactly. The more we're going to work together, either one-on-one as your coach or inside the course. So first thing first, the GPT, then we print out the sheet. We make sure that we have a green and a red pen to write down on that sheet. And obviously that sheet, I want you to have it at least with you if you can, or next to your keyboard at work or at home, so that we're taking some notes. And the more red we have, the better it is, right? Always remember this. All right, if you see this section, it's because we are working together, right? Either you're on a tier paid version of my community, or I'm your coach right now. So, welcome to your night routine, the 3-2-1 principle. So, obviously, 3 hours no food, 2 hours no liquids or no work, super important, and 1 hour no screen time, TV, cell phone, computer. The last one is the toughest one for most people. So what we do if it's too much for you is the Unwind 15. So instead of that full hour with no screen, we do the Unwind 15, so 15 minutes before going to bed. What do we do? So we already know that the power 15 in the morning is to create momentum, right? We're in control and we accumulate the tiny wins, the tiny actions to then face a frog. So at night is the opposite. We stop the flywheel or whatever we're doing and we take a step back, we reflect, we look back at our day, the wins, the losses. When you look at your top 10 weekly goals, the greens, the reds, what did we learn from all those actions or experiences so that we move forward by learning, growing? You're going to see, we're going to prep the field for tomorrow. So, what's in that 15 minutes? Then again, a little bit of reviewing the tools that we're using. It can be a little bit of meditation, 5 to 10 minutes. It can be a mix of gratitude or visualizations, right? You already put yourself in your shoes tomorrow. How are you going to be taking action? How are you going to be more proactive instead of reactive? This is something we're going to work together over the next couple of weeks, but I'm super pro proactivity instead of reactivity. We're going to talk about protecting your energy silo from the energy vampires, meaning people, but even the distractions and the zombie mode of the cell phone or social apps or TikTok or whatnot, those are still energy vampires in a way. So how can we protect our energy silo that is willpower silo as well? And how can we plan our day properly so that it's not only black or white? We have a couple of different options and we have new tools, new ways of seeing those choice points moving forward. So obviously, now we talk about the Unwind 15. We prep the Power 15 tomorrow. So the list of tiny wins we want to get done tomorrow morning, we prep it at night. And if you want to go for a walk or for some jogging or go to the gym, first thing first in the morning or after the Power 15, then we already prep the sporting shoes and the sporting clothes outside. It's already there. You want to drink water, that glass of water, it's already next to your bed. So we're prepping the field, right? For those who knows James Clear Atomic Habit, this is what he talk about. How you prep your field, your environment to succeed, right? If you want to lose weight, you're not going to have the cookie jar on the counter, right? So that you don't have the visual. You create friction over the things that are a bad habit or something we want to change. And obviously we're adding frictions over the cookie jar and all those things, and we're taking the friction away when it comes down to new habits or like new standards or everything related to a new identity. You're going to hear me talk of votes towards you 2.0. So by prepping the field, by prepping your environment to succeed, we're casting votes. Even if there's no actions, well, the actions of prepping the field is still casting vote. It's still you committing, you having the self-discipline and making sure that you're going to follow through the same day or the next day in this case. So have a look at a couple of informations in there. Obviously, the first domino is the night of sleep. So if you need to go to bed a little slightly earlier to have that full 8 hours of sleep, plus the extra 30 minutes for the Power 15 tomorrow morning and the frog, then obviously do the math. And let's put alarm. I always recommend to put at least 2 alarms, if not 3, at night. Those alarms are way more important than the alarm that we're used to put in the morning and we hit the snooze button or whatnot. So the alarms at night. If let's say the perfect time for you to go to bed is 9:30, right? But your actual routine or lack thereof at night, you go to bed between 10:30, 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m. Let's find an hour that there's a little bit of friction. Yes, it's a challenge, but it's not too much of a challenge. When we work together, it's always baby steps. So if your average is midnight, let's not put 9:30. Let's put 11:30, at least for the first week, and then let's see how it goes. So at night, what we need, at least for the first week, is extra 30 minutes tomorrow. So do the math. make sure that you have your alarms at night. And why did I say 2 to 3 is, let's say it's 9:30, I want you to put one at 9, another one at 9:30. The first one at 9 tells you, okay, time to unwind. Or maybe you have 15 minutes left before the unwind 15, right? So use those alarms so that it makes sense for you to stay committed, to stay disciplined, and to not use the excuse of, oh, I forgot about it. No, we're prepping the field with those alarms as well. And sometimes I tell myself, okay, you still have 30 minutes of zombie mode or playing video games or watching Netflix. Those are reminders because at night when we don't have the energy or the willpower, who's running the show? Is the little boy inside or your 1.0 self, the comfort zone? I'm chilling because I'm drained. I don't have any energy or willpower to do anything. Let's flip those rocks and let's see what works for you. I just want you to give it a shot. Let's give it a shot, at least for this week. And next time we're going to meet, you're going to tell me, Alex, this works, this doesn't work. Perfect. Awesome. We're all different, right? So this is the Unwind 15. Obviously, we're committed. There has to be commitment here. It's not the full hour, no screen, at least 15 minutes, no screen. And if you want to do the full hour, you do the Unwind 15 or Unwind 30. Create that ritual the way it works for you over time. And maybe the other 30 minutes, some reading. You grab a book and you read, no screen. So reading could be the perfect way to complete that full hour at some point. If you can do it now, perfect. If it takes you a month or two, perfect as well. Everybody is different here. So the commitment part, this is super important because if there's no commitment, if there's no discipline, then I can offer you the best tools in the world. It's not going to work out. And obviously, I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. We're going to fail. It's not going to be perfect. But how can we fail forward? How can we learn from those failures so that we're growing and we're tweaking things here and there, our alarms, our environment, so that there's less and less frictions. And the more we cast votes towards our new self, the easier it gets and the higher the stakes are as far as our challenges, right? You're going to see the results faster if you're committed. So I always talk about, for those who knows David Goggins, the Navy SEAL attitude. You don't need to be crazy like him, like super intense, but let's use 5% David Goggins energy tomorrow morning, where whenever your little voices or the comfort zone or the good excuses tells you not to take action, okay, maybe we need a cold shower if it's the case. Maybe we need to do push-ups to failure. Something to change that mindset a little bit over time by still casting votes towards your new self and by following through. You're planning, right? We plan stuff. Sometimes we're going to fail whatever is planned. But if it's the case, we grab our red pen and be like, okay, I failed. This is a reason and this is the emotion. How am I feeling right now failing, right? So this is huge. This is failing forward with the red pen. Okay, accountability. You guys have access to my WhatsApp number here. Please send me those pictures. If it's every day that you want to commit to, send it every day. Like I said, I have my GPT that analyze your pictures, and then we're going to tweak the morning and the night routine and reframing a couple of your limiting beliefs. We're going to build affirmations. There's so many things that we're going to do with just a simple picture you're going to send me so that you're having the best bang for your buck between the sessions, because I'm going to do a little bit of coaching here and there every time you send me a picture. So obviously, the big changes, the big transformations I've seen with those tools are the ones that are sending it to me every day or almost every day. It can be 5 days out of 7. 5 days out of 7 is still a huge win in my book, because now we're doing some tweaking iterations on a daily basis, right? Some of my clients are finding the good excuses, and yeah, maybe they send me a picture once every week or once every 2 weeks. Over the package of 4 sessions, they send it to me 3 times. Did they see some results? Yes, but it's probably 10 to 15%. of the results of some others that are committed, disciplined, with the urge of changing, the urge of wanting to reach a 2.0 self. They're tired of their old point, the 1.0, and the good excuses. So it's all about your effort, your commitment, and your discipline here. The rules of the game. We're failing forward. Every time we fail, we take notes, we grab our red pen, and at the end of the day, we review it. And we're trying to tweak it. We're trying to prep the field for tomorrow to be a better day. And even if today was horrible, right? It's 10 p.m. or 9:30. You're about to go to bed. You haven't done the Unwind 15. It's still time. Maybe not to win the day, but let's finish the day with a win by just grabbing your pen, grabbing your sheet, your notebook, whatever you're using, and prep the field for tomorrow. It's always time, always. Even if that day was like the last 5 minutes to prep the field for tomorrow, to make sure that tomorrow is not as bad as today. And look at the second rule: never fail 2 days in a row. Obviously, it is what it is. If you guys commit to that rule, you're going to change. Because even if you commit to sending me 7 pictures with this rule, if you commit to it, I'm still going to receive 3 or 4. It's still a big win. It's still a huge win. You're going to see a big change or big transformations over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's about it for this week exercise. Maybe you're watching this video before our first session or after our first session. Just commit. Just have that sheet next to you, next to your keyboard. And if it's not possible or you feel ashamed for having this next to your workspace, have it next to your bed. At least in the morning, write down all the negative thoughts that you have. And at night, look back at the actions of the day. We're acknowledging those little voices, those little demons now, so that we can fight back. Your sheet will be red. That top 10 weekly goal sheet will be full of red. And if it's the case, you made it. You understand the process. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Send me a question via WhatsApp or email, and get ready to face the struggles, face those voices in your head, because it's going to happen tomorrow morning. I can assure you this. And if you fight back and you fail forward, my friend, you're going to see amazing changes. So have a good day and see you soon.